The pilot project initially came about through work that the Youth Reaction team and Westlake's Renaissance had carried out, and there was a clear gap identified in the lack of teaching and learning resources about the regeneration plans for Barrow. What we wanted to do was look at how the regeneration could closely link with what the teachers were already delivering, so how it would actually fit within their current curriculum. If you actually involve the teachers in the development of the resources, they're more likely to be used because they meet their individual needs. The main people involved in the pilot project were Thorncliffe School, Walney School, Parkview School, Barrow Sixth Form College and Furness College.
It's been really good the way the project's tied into what the children are doing already. As part of the GCSE course, they have to do 3 pieces of coursework, and the piece of coursework on advertising my local areas fitted in really well with the Regeneration project. They've done a variety of things. They've had guest speakers in, they've had trips around Barrow to the regeneration areas, but we've been able to produce a brochure. Hopefully towards the end we'll be able to produce the CD with the children talking in French about the areas of regeneration.
We've been learning about how Barrow's being regenerated.
We've been making brochures in French about our hometown of Barrow.
We've been going out on trips, we've looked at the areas which have got to be done.
We went to like a big place where there was loads of wasteland I'd never seen before.
Yeah,
They
like
said
Barrow Docks.
Yeah, that there was got to be things being built there and I never even knew it was in Barrow.
And we had to say stuff in French about what was happening.
Had people come in and talk to us, give us presentations and the outlines of what's going to happen.
Walney School was very lucky to be given a sublimation printing kit, and this was going to allow us to print onto t-shirts and mugs and mouse mats. I thought it would link very, very nicely with the regeneration of Barrow. Emily Hughes House was what we were going to use as our project, and we went along on our visits, which really did enthuse the children, and that has allowed us to produce freebie items that would be given away at a corporate launch. The pupils put together a PowerPoint presentation about regeneration in Barrow, and also, because we were inviting people into school, we formed a catering company called Bite to provide finger foods for our welcomed guests.
Our regeneration project was about the Emily Hughes House and the changing face of Barrow.
Me and my group created the food company Bite.
In this project we visited Emily Hughes House.
We created a PowerPoint presentation.
I have now found out about what Barrow will be like in the future and what we've got to look forward to when we're older.
One of the most important aspects of citizenship is for pupils to be actively engaged in their communities and to make a difference. I felt that the students didn't really have a good grasp of what community actually meant, what was actually going on, and what the future plans were for their community. So when the Regeneration project became available, this seemed to provide the answer for my concerns. The scheme of work consists of 6 lessons, which is an introduction to what the regeneration is, interviewing people of Barrow, asking them about their community and if they know about the regeneration, becoming aware of the festivals and event strategy, and then collating the answers, culminating in making a welcome pack for young people who are thinking of coming to Barrow.
And if she likes your ideas, you're going to be invited down to go and meet her and consult with her and work with her. It's you having a say in your town.
One of the managers of the Life Centre, she came in and showed us a PowerPoint on the whiteboard, and it was like digital walkthrough of what they've done to it and what it's going to be like.
We've been brainstorming ideas of what we'd like to see there, and we've been giving our points of how to make it better, because it'll be aimed at us, so if they know what we like, it'll be a lot better for us.
We'd like to see better facilities, and
it's like we put in like a new cafe and stuff in, so you can go and like get something to eat after you've been like to the gym and stuff.
Well, the link's very easy really, because one of the topics that we teach is urban management. That's a topic that takes about 6 months of the student's second year at college. I'm going to use Manchester to introduce all the ideas of regeneration on a big scale, and then we're going to come back and the students are going to do some work on various parts of Barrow, having a look at what's been done and trying to come up with some suggestions of their own. and they're going to present them to the people who've been involved in change, people from the Barrow Council and people from West Lakes Renaissance.
As well as the regeneration of Barrow, the college is undergoing regeneration in itself. So all the old's going, new's coming in. So we decided to try and produce a piece of sculpture to go with the new build, try to base it on the theme of not just regeneration of Barrow but also of the college.
For the regeneration project, we've been designing a sculpture with the artist Jack Scott.
It's kind of been about the whole new build of the college and the regeneration of Barrow and just creating a sculpture that will fit in.
We were trying to design like a seating area, a place for students to meet up.
It's not just somebody who's made it for us, you know, we have to go along with that. We've made all the ideas, we've put forward loads of things. You feel more involved with the college.
We looked around Manchester at lots of sculptures.
Everybody getting their input into what they thought about the sculptures. It was really interesting to hear different people's point of view.
We knew nothing really about what was going to happen in Barrow. We'd heard, and read that there were projects ahead for marinas and cruise terminals, but we didn't really know what the details were. And it was really interesting when Nicola Foster from West Lakes Renaissance came in and gave us a talk and showed us some slides about, what Barrow could look like in 15, 16 years.
Very little was known by the pupils and myself about regeneration in Barrow.
My personal knowledge of regeneration before this project was fairly limited. I knew there was a big dock development going on, but wasn't quite sure what was happening. The students, I think theirs was probably even less.
This project's taught us a lot about the regeneration of Barrow. It's something that I didn't know about.
It's made me think a lot more about what's going to happen in my town and what's going to be built and what's going to go on.
I didn't know very much about the regeneration in Barrow, but from this project I've learned quite a lot about it.
Didn't really know that much, but we knew that stuff was happening because we've seen stuff like being built and stuff like that, but we didn't know what.
Yeah, I knew absolutely nothing about regeneration, so it was good to find out.
I think that we've become quite excited about the prospect of what's happening in our town now, and that enthusiasm has passed on to the children, but I've even been able to talk to the other teachers about it as well, and maybe it could go into sort of other subjects that they would like to become involved with the regeneration theme.
I think from my point of view, the best part has been that the spark of interest that we've seen in the children. Now they realise that things are changing in Barrow, that there's a lot of money being invested, and they've started to think about the future of the town and perhaps their future within that town.
What worked well in the project basically was the children's thirst for the knowledge, so that it became a very easy subject to teach.
I think it's been good getting a different point of view of actually seeing what's going on within the town and why regeneration is important.
I liked going out and we got to go all around Barrow and look at all the new stuff, and then we went up into Armscale where we saw where new parks being built and stuff like that. We got to stand there and learn loads of really good stuff about what's going to happen and stuff like that.
Well, it was fun going out on the bus and looking at the areas because I've never been over Barrow Island before.
I like the talk about when we went to the wasteland bit, that was good.
What I enjoyed most about the project was visiting Emily Hughes' house.
Making the t-shirts and do little freebies and stuff.
It was like they're going to actually take our ideas forward and use them.
Good to know that you've made a difference.
It's kind of made me more creative, wanting to do more sculpture than I did before we started.
It could one day come back next year and it's built, and that'd be a fantastic thing to see.
What the great thing is about this particular scheme of work is that it's sustainable. You can build on it year after year and you can actually see the regeneration happening.
I think the main reason why this project has been successful is because the resources have been created by teachers for teachers. Some of the other resources will be really useful for other schools to use. I think also it really makes a difference when you involve the schools and colleges in the decision making rather than trying to dictate what we feel that they need.
With the marina and the waterfront and the cafe culture and all the other exciting things that West Lakes have planned, I think it's going to bring back a lot of young, intelligent people.